Merry meet everyone. Happy December. I thought I would jump on for a few minutes and say hello and see how everyone is doing. As you can see, the tree is up. We are in the midst of the season. I have a few minutes before my lunch has to come out of the oven, so I was like, well, I thought I'd come in or do a video, I should say, and talk for a bit. It's been a whirlwind. I don't know how about all of you, if it's been nonstop for the last couple of weeks. It seems like that's what it's been for me. Lots of things coming to an end and beginning, and then add the holidays on top of things. Yeah. So, but I've been experiencing a little bit of magic here and there. And I thought I would do a video kind of talking about some of the things that are happening in my world. And I would, it's just kind of more of like what energies are happening for me and what I can see that's coming in and how that's going to affect the manifestation process for, at least for myself and for some of all of you. So it is December 3rd. We are moving into a supermoon tomorrow, the last full moon of 2025. And it's a supermoon, which means it's a moon that's it's a little bit closer to the Earth, so it's bigger and brighter and more intense. And it's in Gemini, I believe, too. And so that's with a lot of dualities. We're dealing with, well, for Gemini, that would be for, in tarot, the major arcana would be the Lover's card. And so, and the Lover's card is, again, pretty much about duality, coming together, self-love, communication, since Gemini is an air sign. But what does that mean? Like, what's coming in for that? It means that we are coming to end a cycle. That's pretty much what I'm noticing coming up. If in numerology, 2025, when all the numbers were added up and it was breaking down to a single number, it was the year 9. And it was also this year is also the year of a wood snake in Chinese astrology and New Year too. So that 9 is the end of a cycle in numerology. That's pretty much what it means. It means things come to an end. And we are being prepped to finish up what no longer serves us, and we get ready for a whole new beginning. And a whole new beginning is coming in 2026. So, a lot. I don't know for all of you. I know certainly for myself, 2025 was a year of a lot of soul growth, I would say. And usually when you do soul growth, it puts you in the ringer. You go for a lot. And I think I noticed that a lot for clients I've talked to and friends I've talked to, and just also just clients and even family members too. It's just so much has happened. So I'm going to come into a little bit of telling you what's leading me for my video. I did a post on my Facebook group about this a little bit of experience, and I thought I would do a video about it just to kind of clarify, because I wrote the post late at night, and I've been working long hours of overtime for my other job. So earlier this week, it was Monday, today is now Wednesday, I got off a 12-hour shift and from my other job, and it was dark. It was already 8 p.m. and the moon wasn't quite full. By getting into the process, I forget what phase it was. And I went out to go leave for work. I had to warm up my car a little bit because it was cold and frosty. And there was a lot of cloud coverage, and kind of fog, low clouds. And I looked up in the sky, and the moon was in clear sky. And around it was a perfect bubble, perfect circle of clouds around it. It was like someone took a cookie cutter and did a little like cutout just for the moon to shine through all the clouds. And with it was very bright. It had a halo effect. And it was just something I think I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. So I knew it was very rare. And I definitely tuned in like intuitively, like this is a special moment. This is a sign. And I found out, sure enough, that what it was called was a lunar halo. It was, according to research, it was something about like divine protection, transitions, and it's also a little bit of luck thrown into the mix. So how does that sound? It sounds familiar to me. For me, it was definitely like the veil was just kind of being lifted out. That way clarity is coming in. And I've been feeling that way a lot lately, and thinking about moving forward in 2026. I know, like, coming into it, like, I have to make some decisions and I need to be clear. And I know it's going to be big because this is we need to have a good start, a new beginning, because I'm setting the tone, setting everything up for how things are going to move within the next 10 years. Because this cycle has been clearing out stuff that began in 2016. So, so in 2026, we're going to be looking at a cycle that goes until, I believe, 2036, but maybe a little bit. Maybe it's 2035 if we're looking at 9s. But I'm just doing this winging it while I'm talking, so I'm not very good at math. But that sounds about right. Either way, it's a long cycle for many years. And I already kind of know a little bit of what is already setting up. So I'm coming on here to talk about manifestation. But manifestation working with the energies that are already with us. And I'm talking about manifesting with tarot and manifesting with numerology, because it's my theory, and I've found this to be true for myself. When I figure out what the universe has already kind of has set up for me in my reality, it's easier to move with that flow and figure out what I can manifest with it. For example, so when I say manifesting with tarot and manifesting with numerology, and why I'm talking about this importance of this is because if you didn't know, you can find out what your major arcana is for the year ahead. And that is really, I find it really aligns up with things that show up around you and how you can manifest with that. I'm going to use myself as an example. For 2025 with my birth date, my card ended up adding up to being the moon. The major arcana for this year was the moon. And oh boy, I did see it. I did see like things coming through with the energies of working with me and learning to manifest. My number one thing that came in was the moon is very much a representation of the feminine, because a woman, their cycles usually line up with the moon phases, and also women hold a lot of water within their bodies, and the moon kind of goes with the tide of the oceans, and it affects our bodies, and it also affects our intuition. And I really noticed within this year, I've always been drawn to the divine feminine, and I've ended up doing a lot of work and reawakening with divine feminine goddess archetypes, and that's been very prominent for me in this year. And I felt probably most aligned to my feminine self this year, and I found like my confidence has really bloomed, and my intuition has been really noticeable, and I've kind of learned to kind of accept like mysteries I want to kind of hold. And that's another theme too with the moon, like learning what to talk about, what to kind of keep to myself, and learning boundaries. And so I think that was really important for me. I think with my lesson though for the moon archetype in tarot was learning to recognize that I have to go with whatever phase is happening. Phase within my emotions, phase within the world around me, phase is at work. And I just kind of had to learn to flow with it. And so I really felt like that was something pretty fantastic to go through in 2025, and I learned quite a bit. And so I know for myself personally, I am moving into the sun. That's for 2026. So that is where I'm starting out in the next cycle for several years. And it sets a tone. It's very important. And so I'm coming on to kind of talk about, like, I know some of you were interested. Okay, how do I find my card? How do I know what is setting up for me? What energies can I work with as a tarot major arcana for 2026? And what is it going to help with? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you an example. So how you do this is that you take your birth date. Okay, maybe I will pause for a moment because my lunch is going to have to come out of the oven real quick, so hold on. I'm back. I had to get my lunch, you know. I'm having General Chicken for lunch today, because yum. Okay, so let's come back to what I was talking about. So there are, if any of you are curious, there are 21 major arcanas in tarot. And so technically, you could have, with numerology, they say that you want to break down the number into one single digit. And you can do that. From But since there are 21 cards, you can technically use whatever number it comes out to if it's no more than 21, and you can have both. You can have 2 cards technically. So, all right, so let's go ahead and work through this. So the process. So you take your birth month, you take your birth date, and you take 2000 and the number 2026. So let's go ahead and use today's date, which is December 3rd. And let's just say someone right now has a birthday somewhere in the world that is December 3rd. So we take 1 plus 1. Sorry. I'm nervous, and so I'm tripping over my words. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus, you don't have to include the 0, another 2 plus 6. That's 16. So technically, we can leave it at that. That could be the card right there. Which, let me find real quick. Which could be, I believe it's the Tower. Yeah, it's the Tower. That would be what it could be for the person going into 2026 and for the next couple of years. So the next couple, if we just stuck with that card as that person's major arcana, that would mean they would have a lot of, at least for 2026 and onward. So their year would probably most likely be a lot of things crumbling around them. It would be kind of revolutionary, actually. It'd be kind of great to have that, because you were saying that 2026 is a clean slate. So that could mean if you have that as your card, you can work with the energy of like, I want to start over. I do not like everything I built. I want to rebuild. And let's do this. I'm going to take this down to the bare basics. I'm going to sell everything, and I am going to, take whatever money I've got, and I am going to go find myself somewhere. And that could be very much the energy. And so that's pretty cool with like when you're starting a new life and wanting to manifest. So if anyone has that, that could be a possibility. So, but since we are at 16, you could break it down to a even lower number into 1, which would be it would be 7. So it would be the Chariot card. So the Chariot represents, again, kind of was talking about, it's like that is overcoming challenges and travel and kind of moving from different points of time. And so if that would end up where you wanted to kind of work with for manifesting and having your year set up to have a process of like, it would be probably moving through things and overcoming challenges and being very successful, traveling, And so if you, for the next 10 years want to travel and just be not tied to one place and to have one certain thing in your mind, that would be where you would, you would have a lot of opportunity to go to different places, have different opportunities happen to you, and just be with the flow and have nothing tie you down. And so that's just an example of what it can be. There can be so many. Like I said, there's 21 different cards, 21 different energies you can work with for this year. So and what it sets you up for. And I suppose, like, I'm coming back to if someone has the Tower, for example, they have the Tower as their start for the next 10 years. It's like, okay, well, that would be coming back to the bare bones. And so your point from that point forward, the next 10 years would be what it would be like to build something, to build your dream life into something that you really think would be a wonderful empire, a wonderful aligned part of yourself. So yeah, there's much possibilities. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. I have some news. I am going to be doing readings again. A few of you have asked that if I am still doing readings. I still am. I just haven't been very vocal about it and advertising it quite very much because I do work full time somewhere else. But I am setting up a Candly, that's the name, the Candly link for those who would like to book with me, and I am going to be offering your 2026 year. If you want some insight, I can use, I do channeling messages, and I also do this process for you, finding out what your card, what is your beginning looking like through a major arcana card. I use charms. I have right there. And that right there is a wheel of the year, and I throw charms on it, and I get a lot of good insight. And then I also do a channeled vision board for all of you, and I'm going to be offering a few spots available at a really discounted price. I usually do these readings at $260. I'm going to be offering for $100 until mid-January. And I don't have many spots available. Like I said, I'm working full time, and I'm also working on a couple of new tarot books and workbooks for everyone. So yeah, I have quite a bit on my plate, but I'm excited for it because this is my process. This is what I'm manifesting to in my upcoming year, is that I want to have a revival of the Owl's Vision, and probably actually going to be calling it a different name at some point. But basically my spiritual career, because I really do feel drawn to helping the collective and getting insight, and that's what I am here for. This is what makes my heart sing. So anyway, that's what I got for you in this video, and I will be back. I have a few tarot weeks I got to catch up on. I've been working too many hours somewhere else that I've kind of lost track of doing these spreads, but I will be back. And so expect a video from me and a Candly link if you are interested in booking with me, and we can do a reading for you. All right, that's what I have, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm gonna send you lots of love. Bye for now.